Hello, Walter McKone here. Advanced Osteopathic Manipulation. I've always been asked about what advanced manipulation means. What it doesn't mean is learning new techniques. The more techniques you learn, you end up techniquing the patient, and the word technique actually means rule given. Now, Dr. Still had no rules. In fact, he had no theory. Theory is a central issue within science. So what we normally do is we have a theory and we experiment, so we test the validity of the theory. What Dr. Still did, he didn't have the theory and then test it. He actually, just going to turn the television down a bit, he actually developed his theory during the experience of the examination of the patient. Now, in Hildreth's book, The Lengthening Shadow of A.T. Still, Dr. Still's method of manipulation is actually in this book, and it's a nice little story, so I'll read a little bit of it. Another interesting incident which Dr. Charlie, that was A.T. Still's son, related to me, that's Arthur Hildreth, was the case of a young man who had injured his knee. This boy came from a family in Kirksville who were great friends of Dr. Still. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, he chopped his knee off. Well, not off, but badly injured it. And the doctors were going to amputate. Anyway, Dr. Still unexpectedly returned to town that evening, and even before hearing the case, he'd thought something was up. The mother, describing this visit to Dr. Charlie, said that he went into the room, looked at the boy and examined his knee for a few minutes. Then he sat down in a chair by the side of the bed, put his feet up on another chair and pulled his hat down over his eyes. He sat there for so long in contemplation that the family became alarmed, and they were afraid he was not going to do anything. So evidently, having satisfied himself with the procedure, he arose and went to work. He manipulated the thigh and the pelvic bone on that side, gently rotating the thigh and stretching the limb a little, thus causing relaxation of the contracted and inflamed tissues around the knee. Then he went away. By morning, the swelling had materially decreased, and by the afternoon, when the doctors arrived, who had advised on on amputation, they found there was absolutely no necessity for an operation. Now, here's the key. The key is the method. He was building his theory, and the word theory comes from Plato's theaetetus. It means to see or behold. And this idea of seeing or beholding goes back to old German classics with the Geistaugen, or the mind's eye. And this was championed by the poet-scientist Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Sorry? Oh, look. Here he is, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. So, what Goethe did was to have this idea of deepening of the imagination. So you don't visualize it, you become it. And this is A.T. Still's method. And next year in Holland, I shall be going through the practice of this method, and all the information is down below. Hope that helps.